Welcome back to another episode of the A-League Couch Critics. It's been a while, but we've been off celebrating us hitting 200 subscribers.
Ooh, yeah. Thanks so much for subscribing, everybody. And hey, 1,000 is just around the corner, right?
Yeah, I know. There was a few days when it was on 199. I'm like, I've just got to make another account. But I didn't. But we finally got there. How good. And we're going to be celebrating 200 subscribers in a couple of weeks' time, hopefully. We're planning to have a guest on the show. We won't tell you much about it. We'll just wait until that episode comes out and you'll find out who it is. But look out for that. But before then, we're going to get into today's episode, which is going to be talking about basically who's surprised us, who's impressed us, and who hasn't impressed us in the opening month and a half of the A-League.
Yeah, I guess the best and the worst starts to the A-League season. And, well, I guess I wanted to kick things off with, we should start on an impressive note, right? You know, who's impressed us. And I want to say just football in general. How nice is it?
Yeah, football in general, yeah.
How nice. Like, the A-League is actually entertaining to watch at the moment.
It's been great. It's been great.
Like games that normally you wouldn't flick on, you know, your Sunday afternoon Mariners versus Wellington Phoenix that you'd normally be like, I'll just wait for the main game on the Sunday night. It actually is a good game to watch, you know. Perth versus Adelaide last night with a bit of banter spiced in, spicing things up. It was a good game, you know, lots of entertaining football. It seems to be a lot more even in a lot of the competition. And so I think with all the stuff that's going on around the state of football in Australia, normally that can kind of weigh you down, but when the product on the field is good, it actually makes some of that stuff easier to deal with, and I think it kind of makes you a bit more optimistic. So I think well done to the A-League. You know, the fixtures change more than traffic lights at the moment, but hey, people are turning up to games, and it's been enjoyable.
Yeah, it's been really good. Yeah, quality's great. What are some other things that's impressed you? I know for me, it's the Central Coast Mariners. Would you say they've impressed you?
Yeah, absolutely. We were there when they beat Sydney FC.
Beautiful times.
And look, as a Sydney supporter, it was pretty crappy, but I was impressed by Central Coast. I think they know their place in that. They're not out there playing amazing, expansive football, although that Jaden Casella goal the other day against City was nice to watch. But mostly they're sitting defensively, they know their job, they're getting in people's face, winning those physical battles, and actually playing some good football. So they're actually in competition.
Yeah. I think at the start they weren't impressing me because they only beat Newcastle and Wellington, and I thought, well, maybe it's just because they're playing those two teams, but then they knocked off Sydney FC, and to show it was no fluke, then they knocked off Melbourne City. So they're doing well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you think they can keep it up?
Look, it's going to be a long season, and I think everyone's saying this. It's pinch of salt kind of time, but hey, I don't think they're going to be second last. Maybe I think maybe we got that wrong. I think they look like they could make a real battle, and potentially, you know, if they keep this fighting spirit up, make the six.
Yeah. I think it'll be tough for them to make the six, but I don't think they'll be battling the spoon.
No.
I mean, at this rate, I don't think they should be.
I think what's impressed me about them is just they're playing smart kind of football. So they've got people who are exciting, like Alu Kuol, but you know, Matt Simon is having one of his best seasons because they're playing him correctly. You know, they're not just lumping balls and hoping he'll bash people.
He'll probably still bash people.
He still is doing that, but they're playing him well, and they've got good players around him. Danny De Silva's having a great season, and you know, they're only just starting to get those two foreigners, Urena and Janota. They're only just coming into the team now, so I think they're going to keep getting better, and I think that's been impressive.
Yeah, another team I think impressed us is Brisbane Roar. I think we tipped them to be around that bottom as well, and from what I've seen from them in the first 4 or 5 games they've played, I think they can definitely make the six the way they're playing.
Dylan Wenzel-Halls, hey?
Going great. 4 goals in 4 or 5 games I think they've played.
Yeah. He's really stood up and scored the goals that I think we said defensively they do look solid, like we thought they would, even with a young keeper in, because Jamie Young is out injured, but their attacking play's been a lot better than I think I expected, so that's been good to watch, and I think their imports have done good jobs as well.
Yep. And I think we briefly talked before we started the show about Perth Glory. Their impressive attack, and they are absolute garbage defence at the moment.
Yeah.
They're entertaining. They're great for the neutrals. If you love watching goals, and if you only want to watch football for goals, you've got to watch a Perth Glory game.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
But, I think that, the attack's been great.
Yeah.
The bants have been... Their bants have been good. Adelaide's bants have been terrible.
Not so good. But I mean, like, they've got some great players up front. I'm really happy to see Nick D'Agostino actually playing well. I called that at the start. I said he'd be an important young player for them. And somebody that people kind of mentioned as an alternative, as a young player, is Carlo Armiento or Amaretto, if you're Archie Thompson.
Whatever, yeah. What a loose unit.
But he's been fantastic to watch. Yeah. Bruno Fornaroli, does his fall and rolly a bit, but I think Castro as well he's just classy. He's been really good, and now they've got a string of home games. I think Perth could actually really make a challenge up the top of the table in the next couple of weeks.
Quickly on some of the other teams, I think Adelaide probably haven't impressed us that much. We thought probably expected a bit better. They haven't been super disappointing, but they haven't been crash hot. Who else we talk about? Newcastle. I think they're bottom. I think at the moment
they are still bottom,
which is probably where they should finish. But I think they've been in every game they've played. I think good on them. They've stuck at it for every 90 minutes of each game. I don't know if they'll be able to do it the whole season, but I think they're giving it a good shot. For a club that's lucky to be playing at all.
I think that's the state of the league at the moment. They've not been amazing, but they've not been terrible.
Yeah.
So they're still winning games. They're still in the challenge, kind of. They're still, got some exciting things. Roy O'Donovan's been really good. And Valentino Yule, I mean...
He's going great.
Yeah, what an exciting kind of young player. I think that's been really good for them. And these two signings, I'm actually quite impressed with these two new signings from Indonesia that they've got in.
Are they Indonesians or?
One is a young Indonesian player. One is a Kosovan-born kind of player. So
I saw because you don't normally go to Indonesia for talent.
No, and it's a great foray into Asia. But these two guys alone, both of them have over 250,000 Instagram followers each. Newcastle Jets.
I mean, I've got more than that, so whatever.
Newcastle Jets on Instagram
probably have about the same or less.
30,000.
Yeah, 30,000. Yeah. Okay.
So these two strikers combined have like almost 20 times the reach, which is getting eyes on the A-League. How good's that?
Yeah, no, that's great.
For a club with no owner and no real coach, really good signings. Yeah.
Quickly, I think Sydney FC, what do you make of their attack? Because I don't think they've really hit their straps yet. I think they're still struggling without Lafondra. I think, they won 3-0 against MacArthur, but that was against 10 men.
Yeah.
Rightly. I mean, of course, Milligan should have been sent off, but, I mean... Yeah, I still think their attack has a lot of improvement to happen. If someone and Costa Barbarouses really isn't firing up front.
Yeah, and Costa's still been creating opportunities for others. I think Trent Bahaja's been a little disappointing. In fact,
this has been his opportunity. This has been his best opportunity in his career.
And he performed so well at the Asian Champions League, and people thought, he's ready. Yeah. And he just hasn't gotten that kick on. So it's been a little disappointing up front for Sydney FC, but they're still not playing badly. I think they're still playing good football. So I think they're a wait and see.
Yep. MacArthur, I don't think they've been... Well, I tipped them to finish first. I don't think they've been playing too well. I think the Sydney FC was probably the most disappointing one.
Yeah.
But still, I think they played pretty well going down to 10 men.
Yeah,
it was just,
they held out for a long time.
Yeah. But, there's plenty of time, and I think... I'm hoping they'll recover and put in a good finish at the end of the season.
I think you've got to remember with them too that they're a brand new club.
Oh, yeah. They've still got a gel.
Yeah, they've got no history together. They've started this season and it's all from scratch. So I think they're doing fairly well for a new side.
Yeah. Melbourne Victory, you reckon they've disappointed? I don't think I wasn't expecting much from them this year, but...
You just look at some of the players, some of the names on their team, and Rudy Gestead did nothing, then got injured. Marco Rojas, I keep expecting him to be the old Marco Rojas, and he's not. Robbie Cruz is injured.
Story of his life.
Ryan Shotton comes into the league with this fantastic haircut and then plays passes like 30 metres to the right of a player that he's aiming for. They've been disappointing for me. And so I'm a little disappointed because I thought they'd have a good season, but I'm not disappointed because it's Melbourne Victory, who doesn't like to see him fail.
Yeah, I'm not really fussed.
Sorry, Victory fans. We probably don't have lots of Victorian fans here, do we? Let us know if you're Victorian and you don't hate what we say. Because, yeah.
Yeah, I remember the first time I went to a live game, the Wanderers first time I went to a live game involving Melbourne Victory. Outside of the game, I saw Liverpool play against them. But it was the Wanderers playing them. Boy, the RBB had some explicit chance for them. It was funny, but my mother wasn't too happy about it. But who cares?
The only reason the RBB had such good chance against Melbourne Victory is because they were all ex-Sydney FC fans who started those chants.
Broken record. Love some original jokes. We had a little chat about some of the clubs that's disappointed us. I think we can go into a few more different kind of things that's disappointed us or hasn't disappointed us. One that I'm just a big fan of is just the broadcasting by Fox Sports. I think it's top tier. It's going to win, what do you call them? Logies. Yeah, no one knows what they are. It's going to win a Logie for rubbish performance of the year. The cutout for Merz's goal, the Looney Tunes looking little thing in the W League.
Yeah, look, to be honest, the W League's copped it a lot more, which is disappointing considering, they had $40 million from the government to improve their coverage of women's sport, so that's gone down the drain.
No, it probably hasn't. It's probably just gone into that joke of a competition, the AFLW. Let's hype it up, talk about how great it is when it's not even proper AFL. It's only 16 aside, shorter quarters, and they talk about how great the fans are.
Mate, you sound
you're not charging them anything. So, anyway.
You sound a bit like Brenton Speed here, talking about other sports while I was supposed to be talking about football.
No, I'm having a rant about why everyone loves the AFLW so much when really the W League is where it's at.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's proper football and... Yeah, the AFLW is a condensed version of their sport.
Yeah, but they're doing other things like that with the A-League coverage. Last night watching the Perth-Adelaide game, right at the end, and they're waiting to interview Kilkenny, and they go straight to an NRL biff ad.
Oh, I thought they were going to do the ad. Remember they kept doing the ads about that MMA fight, the Irish fella, Conor McGregor. They kept going about that for ages.
But they're doing their old tactics of they're constantly promoting other sports during the football. Brenton Speed's talking about crap during the football. Yeah.
I haven't got a problem with that during ads because it's a sports broadcasting company. But during the match, during the broadcast of the game, if you want to do it in ads between half time or whatever, okay. But no, I think it's a bit poor during a game.
And there's just been lots of other stuff. Limited camera angles, which look I'm okay with, but you can't keep going with VAR if you don't have the camera angles. Last night's game, again, just because it's fresh in the memory, Adelaide versus Perth, the behind goal camera, which both of Perth's goals came from, there was a big fog patch right in the middle of it, and so you can actually see what happened. It's just little stuff like that, which just shows I don't think they give a crap. And so it's been really disappointing. I've been excited by the moves that the owners of the clubs have been making, and all these little steps into different commercial opportunities. Really hope they've got something planned for a broadcast.
And I think going forward, if Fox Sports going to renew whatever, but it can't be everything on Fox Sport. It has to be shared around because we shouldn't be held ransom to one TV company. Fox is going to game, all right, you get 2 games. Say if Optus come in, they get 2 games. Amazon, they get 2 games. Whoever comes in and gets it. Yeah. I don't think it should be, unless it's Optus, because we know they love football. Yeah. But I think the way we've been treated, especially in the past year or two, I think we can't be putting all 6 games a week to Fox Sports.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
We can't be held ransom to them.
Yep. Well, I guess something that has been good in the start of the A-League has been Dolphin Stadium. Brisbane's move there has been worth it, I think.
Yeah, 100%.
It's a great venue. They're getting good crowds, great atmosphere. Yeah, that's great to watch. It's even, as people who haven't been to Dolphin Stadium, you watch the games on TV and it looks exciting.
Yeah. I think it's a little bit out of the CBD of Brisbane where Lang Park was. So I don't know, if you're a Brisbane fan, let us know what you think of the move because it seems like it's about a 45-minute drive from the CBD.
Yeah, but people still seem to be turning up.
People still going, which is great. So
As
if
long
you're
as
fitted,
there's
the
no,
Cobras will go.
as long as there's no more half-hour rain delays in a different city that
Gosh.
causes that. But
Yeah.
that's another story. Also, other stadium news. What's impressed you, Brad?
That the Sydney the Sydney Football Stadium is going to be built before the Western United. No, it was exciting to hear that. It looks like the planning for Western United Stadium at Tarnet in Victoria is finally getting the approval, and that they plan to start building in the middle of this year and have it done by the 2023 World Cup, which is taken a while, but I think it's fantastic news.
Yeah, look, it's great that it's finally getting there, and once it's built, it'll be fantastic. And they're going to have that. There's going to be a training pitch with a little grandstand.
There's going to be a women's ground. There's going to be the training. It's going to be the main stadium, and in hopefully, probably in a decade's time, they're going to build a train line through that. People are whinging about there's no train line right there. I said, yeah, but you don't build a train line when there's nothing there. And over the years, when this area seems to be kind of like southwest Sydney, like Campbelltown area is the booming area. This is the booming area of Victoria.
Yeah, that's
in the next 10, 20 years, it's meant to be booming. There's plans in for a train station, so it's all happening out there.
Yeah,
and it would really set up Western United as one of the hot teams in this league to have their own stadium.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, it's just about that future, isn't it? You got to keep remembering with Western. Sure, it's happening now. They are in the league, but 10 years down the track, where they're going to be big.
Yeah, with this stadium, I think it's going to be really great to see.
Absolutely. I guess the last kind of off-topic.
It's not off topic. It's always football related.
Not specifically football related, but Ryan Grant's getting a haircut.
Ryan Grant's a footballer. Yeah, and not just he's sick of it. He's getting a new haircut. He's gonna be doing it for charity.
Yeah.
All money raised is going to the Leukemia Foundation, and I think he's trying to get people to bid for who's going to be cutting the hair off. So
I think the Sydney FC member who makes the biggest donation, or I think anyone who makes the biggest donation, gets to start the haircut.
Yeah.
And it's been a while since he's had a not terrible haircut. So, I mean...
Yeah, I've looked back. I think before the mullet, it was an alright haircut. It was just a nice little trim. And then he decided, let's just go full on Central West Bogan here and let's get a mullet. But
good on him. Cutting it for a good cause. And, the iconic mullet will go. But that's alright because it'll take another 3 years for FIFA to realise that he doesn't have a mullet and take it out of the game.
Gosh, I reckon FIFA should ban mullets. They're disgusting. Remember when he went to UAE and the government's like, oh no, we have to check about this. It's like
it's a mullet.
And I'm like, I wish our government banned it. But anyway.
Yeah. So I guess that's really all we've had to kind of talk about for this week's episode. It's been great to watch football. There's been so many good things. I think there's definitely been more positives than negatives. But if you had to just name one winner from the start of the A-League, the person who's won the most from the start of the A-League, who are you going for? Who's your winner of the A-League so far?
Alu Kual. I love him. I love watching him. I love all his interviews. I love everything about the bloke because he's just chill AF.
Yeah.
And his interviews are gold. It's none of this usual garbage about the boys played well. He says it how it is. I love watching Alu Kual.
Yeah,
It's
please.
Good character.
More Alu Kual. Alu, if you ever watch, please do an interview with us.
No homo.
No. For me, the winner of the A-League so far has got to be Stefan Mork. Because his diary has just gotten so much more publicity. His player's diary. I think it's great. Check out his diary and, check out his little personal notes. Neil Kilkenny was very mean to... No, in all honesty, Mork's been pretty good. He's got the captain of his hometown club.
He probably just should have kept his mouth shut until full time.
No, that's just a bit of a joke. Yeah, but I think Lockie Rose is actually the winner of the A-League so far.
You sound like the Fox Sports commentators.
Oh, well, I mean, that's just it though, right? He's got a great haircut. People love him. He looks like Modric. He sometimes kicks the ball well. Kid from MPL2 making it in the A-League.
Yes, Robbie Slater.
Maybe we should create a national second division and get promotion and relegation going and start uncovering some more gems like this. Would that make sense? Do you think people would like that? No?
I don't know.
Probably not.
I don't know. Check out our previous videos on that because we've chatted about second division promotion a fair bit. So.
Bang the drum, bang it.
So I think we might leave it there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thanks so much for watching. We've really love doing these videos, and we're not going to stop anytime soon as long as you keep watching it. And let's crack on to 300.
Yeah, let's do it. We'll see you next time.
Yeah, so subscribe, like, share, do your usual thing.
Sick.
See ya. Welcome back to the first episode of the Rangers title Sorry. Anyway, we'll start again.
Sogg does not condone this message.
Dirty little Catholic supporter.
Okay, let's completely cut that. Put the subtitles in for that one. You caught that?